Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I want to talk to you today about your aversion to being healthy. This is a topic that's really close to my heart. Well, for a number of different reasons, but first and foremost, I have a lot of friends. I hope you do too. Just kidding. I have a lot of friends, or I have several friends that I have offered to help them in their health journey. And some of these friends I've been after since 2015 is one friend. I remember 2015 is the earliest that I was after. I was really after her, doubling down on her to let me help her. And now she's probably a lot like you guys, or some of you guys. She's 15, 20 pounds, maybe even 30 pounds overweight. She drinks way too much, smokes, socially, but yet she's not willing to change any of that, but just wants to get her arms back. And if you're watching, you know who you are. And the reason I'm sharing this with you guys is because, like I said, I feel like a lot of you are in that same position that you know you're not entirely healthy, but nothing has gone wrong yet. So you continue to do the things that you're doing, knowing they're not ideal to live a long and healthy life, but you're just kind of waiting until something happens before you take action, which is the wrong approach. You know, my years in the medical field, I, I mean, I don't even have enough fingers and toes to count the number of times I saw seemingly healthy people, young people, 40s, 50s, 60s, with significant adverse events with no prior medical history or comorbidities. Some of them made it through, some of them didn't. And it's just, it's a travesty, and it's maddening to folks like myself who see all the statistics, who see the chronic disease on the increase, but the eating better, so to speak, is also on the increase. So according to the CDC and the FDA, we're drinking too much, we're eating too much, and we're not exercising enough, and we're drinking too much alcohol. Those are the four things that they say are wrong. Well, over the course of the last, I think it's 16 years, we corrected all of those things. We're eating better, we're exercising more. This is, by the way, this is Americans. This is not the entire world or even the Western world, but just Americans. So we're doing all the things right, but yet our increase of cancer and chronic disease is going up. And guys, it doesn't have to be this way. And during my time in the ER, you know, I saw frequent flyers, and that's the name given to a patient that would repeatedly return to the ER, most of the time for the same thing, if not one, or they're coming in for one of their illnesses or one of their comorbidities. And most of the time, these people were overweight. Most of them had some sort of metabolic instability going on. A lot of them had heart disease. 99% of them were obese. And if you go to the doctor, guys, what's going to happen? Let's say you have high cholesterol, which a lot of you do. They're going to put you on a statin. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. Or if you're going to tell them that you're forgetful, you seem to forget things more often now than you did in the past. They said, oh, that's just a normal byproduct of aging. That's horseshit. That's not true. There are plenty of people in their 50s, 60s, 70s that aren't forgetful, that aren't on a statin, and that do have normal labs, normal cholesterol levels, and have no meaningful expression of cardiac disease. So don't buy that it's a natural byproduct of aging and then just continue doing what you're doing, eating bad and not exercising, because you think it's not going to matter if you do. Because guys, these are the things that make a difference. And you're going to say, well, how does exercise or eating properly decrease the amount, or I'm sorry, how does that affect neurological diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia? You can't fix that. Well, yeah, you can. You can fix that. And the reason that it has an impact on neurodegenerative diseases and cardiac related events and metabolic instability is what's happening over the course of time when you're eating bad food, when you're not exercising, when you're drinking, when you're pummeling your body with all of the things that it needs to break down, as opposed to all of the things it needs to be healthy. You're creating this discord, you're creating this inflammation, this long-term chronic inflammation everywhere in your body, especially in your brain. If you're talking, since we were talking about neurodegenerative diseases, and if you're not sleeping well, which as we age, we sleep less better. So you're not removing those toxins by the glial lymphatic system that can help you decrease inflammation and get rid of the toxins and help with that neuro cognitive decline that you go to the doctor for, that he or she says is normal, which is not true. So if you continue drinking in excess, maybe you're not getting trashed or getting buzzed or whatever every night, but you do have a few drinks now and again, or I'm sorry, you have a few drinks a night. So and I'm not saying don't drink, but I'm saying if you don't counter that with proper diet and the amount of exercise necessary to counter the effects of the things that you are doing, you're going to have problems in the form of cardiac disease. Maybe you're going to have a cardiac event that you didn't see coming because you're not on pills and you don't have any issues. Guys, this is how things happen. And they don't have to happen. You can fix this now. If you start now, you can increase the amount of time you have on the planet, short of stepping in front of the bus, of course. The things that I'm talking about here are not normal and can be prevented. The amount of heart disease, the amount of neurodegenerative disease and cognitive decline, the amount of type 2 diabetes, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, the amount of obesity, the amount of cancer is through the roof compared to what it was 15, 16 years ago. But yet we're doing things better. So big pharma, big agriculture, big food, is trying to make you think that you can continue eating like shit and ultra processed foods, UPFs, and take a stab with Ozempic every day. By the way, if you do, you're on it forever, or you're going to gain weight back, but you're also losing muscle mass and bone density, which further complicate things. So you're preventing your body from doing what it naturally wants and knows how to do, which is heal itself. Because you can't get well in the same environment in which you got sick. That goes for emotionally and physically and physiologically. It won't work. It will never work. You can't out supplement or out prescription pill a really shitty lifestyle. You can't do it. Healing will never be found in a prescription bottle. I'm not saying that there aren't prescriptions that aren't necessary. I have some right here. I have some. Sometimes they're necessary. But what I am saying is the things that most people 50 and above end up dying from are preventable, according to recent relevant research. But you have to take action now. You have a chance at more time, but you have to take action now. You can't put it off. You're going to wake up dead. Why would you even take that risk? You know, back to my friends. one specifically that I'm thinking of, and if you ever watch this, you know who you are. I just don't understand why people, her included, don't see the urgency in this. It truly is life or death. And when you think about the things that you need to do, you should do to steer yourself, to course correct, to get back on the right path, to fixing your health, things are so easy. So easy. Stop drinking so much. Stop together, all together if you can. By the way, I still drink. It's not a lot. It's not even every week, but I do have drinks occasionally, but it's not in excess. I don't smoke. I get most of you aren't going to exercise every single day and go to the gym every single day like I do. I get that. It's in my blood. It's not in yours, which is okay. But you do need to exercise because exercise is a single number one preventative thing that you can do to counter these four horsemen, these chronic diseases that you're probably going to die from if you're over 50. Stop drinking sugary drinks. Increase your water intake. Increase your hydration levels. Helps you think better. Get your sleep in check. And I'm not talking about adequate sleep. I'm talking about optimal sleep. What does that mean? Not waking up 15 times a night, not waking up 4 times a night. Guys, short of sleep and emotional health and stress, the other things you can do right now, right now. And granted, it does take a minute to get emotional health and understanding your self-worth and your value. And when you live that and embody that, you're going to be a whole different person. And then the other changes will just fall into place. But until you embody that emotional state of, I'm a badass and I deserve the things that I want. I deserve people to love me, to show up for me, to treat me with respect and honor me and care for me. You shouldn't have to ask for that shit. If you're chasing someone and asking them to love you, why? You really think you should have to ask someone to love you? No. And if you do, you're lowering your standards and you're lowering your self-worth and your own self-assessment of who you are and what you deserve. That will fuck with you. You may not even realize it, but it fucks with you. And that's what I'm talking about when I say emotional health. When you become secure and stable in knowing who you are and what you deserve, you show up for yourself. You go exercise because you are somebody that cares about your health and you show up for yourself. So what do? If you're somebody that cares about your health and you show up for yourself? You exercise and you eat right. So do you see what I mean when I say, if you're trying to force something, trying to live something, trying to be something that your mind doesn't actually believe that you are, it won't work. When you respond to people in a negative, ugly way, you're giving them your time and your energy. I'm not saying ignore them, but I am saying respond to them with, I'm somebody that people show up for. I'm somebody that people respect and somebody that people communicate with in an adult way. And I don't accept this. When you can show up for me the way I need you to show up and the way I deserve to show up, then you come back and talk to me. But again, this doesn't work for me. And when you show up for yourself, other people start showing up for you. But you have to do it. You have to show up for yourself first. You have to get the lab work. You have to start exercising. You have to start eating right. Then you're like, oh, wow, I am treating my body right because that's what it needs to get better. My emotional health is better because I'm embodying that person who says I want to be healthy, and I'm doing the things that actually mean I'm healthy. So you're congruent. You're not living in this state of cognitive dissonance, saying one thing and doing another. That's why you're not successful in your weight loss. It's not because it's too hard. That's bullshit. It's not too hard. When you show up for yourself and you live and you embody the person that you want to be and you live that way, then everything else falls into place. Your stress levels come down because you're not arguing and you're not chasing people and you're not demanding that they do this and this and this for you. You show up for yourself by exercising, eating right, getting your drinking in check, not arguing with people, not engaging with people, not dealing with bullshit, not accepting bullshit, and not accepting treatment less than what you deserve. But before you can do that with other people, you've got to do it with yourself. There's a lot of coaches out there, guys, myself included. But what I'm sharing with you, you don't have to pay money for. You can. I'll gladly take your money and help you get healthy, but you don't need that. You can do this. If you just implement the things that I'm talking to you about, you can do this. If you don't want to do it, that's a completely different story. I get it. If you want help, I'm always here for you. And we'll probably get there much faster than you can get there on your own. But don't think I'm here to try and get your money. I'm not doing that. I'm simply sharing the information I know will help you live longer and live better affordably, most of the time for free, without being on Big Pharma's teat or Big Agriculture's teat. Well, that's all I got for you today, guys. I appreciate all of you, and I thank you for listening, and I will see you soon.